If you're looking to improve your English listening and writing skills, you're in the right place. In this episode, I'll share some real-life stories about a typical day in my life. Listening carefully will help you understand daily routines and learn useful vocabulary you can use when writing or speaking. Before we start, don't forget to press the like button to support our community. And if you're new here, we upload English practice videos every day to help you get better step by step. Now, let me ask you a few questions to get you thinking. What does your typical day look like? How do you start your morning? What activities do you do after work or school? Think about those questions as I tell you about my day. My day usually starts early. I wake up around 6 in the morning. The first thing I do is drink a glass of water to wake myself up. Then I prepare a simple breakfast, usually oatmeal with some fresh fruit. My husband David gets up a little later, but we try to have breakfast together when we can. After breakfast, I take a quick walk outside to enjoy the fresh air and clear my mind before starting work. By 8 o'clock, I am ready at my desk. I work from home, so I have a quiet space where I focus on writing and planning lessons. I check my emails and respond to messages from my students. Sometimes I have online meetings, which usually last about an hour. It is important to stay organized during this part of the day because I have to prepare materials for the next classes. Around noon, I take a break to cook lunch. I like to keep my meals healthy, so I often make salads with chicken or fish. David usually helps by setting the table or washing the dishes. We enjoy sitting together for lunch because it gives us a chance to relax and talk about our day. After lunch, I spend some time reading or practicing English by listening to podcasts or watching videos. This helps me improve my language skills. I believe that learning every day, even for a short time, makes a big difference. Sometimes I practice writing by summarizing what I listen to, which is great for building vocabulary and grammar. In the afternoon. I often go outside again for a short walk or run errands like going to the grocery store or the post office. Running these small errands helps me feel active and connected to the community. On some days, I meet with friends or attend a language exchange group, which is very useful for speaking practice. Evenings are usually relaxed. I cook dinner while David helps with the kitchen. After dinner, we watch a documentary or read books. Before going to bed, I review my notes and plan for the next day. I find this routine helps me stay calm and ready for tomorrow. How about you? Can you describe your typical day now? Think about the activities you do in the morning, afternoon, and evening. Try to notice the words I used and practice writing a short paragraph about your own day. After I finish my work for the day, I like to spend some time on hobbies that help me relax. One of my favorite activities is cooking new recipes. Last week, I tried making a vegetable soup with fresh ingredients from the market. It took some time, but the taste was worth it. Cooking helps me feel calm after a busy day. David enjoys gardening in the evening. He waters the plants and checks if any flowers need trimming. We both like spending time outside when the weather is nice. It is a good way to enjoy nature and get some fresh air. Before dinner, I usually write a short diary entry about my day. Writing helps me remember new words and practice sentence structures. For example, I write sentences like, "Today I woke up early and went for a walk," or, "I cooked a healthy lunch with chicken and vegetables." Writing every day improves my English and makes me more confident. After dinner, we like to plan the next day together. We talk about appointments, meals, and important tasks. This planning helps us stay organized and reduces stress. Good planning is important in everyday life. Before going to bed, I like to do a little reading. I read easy English books or articles online. This helps me see how sentences are formed and learn new vocabulary. David prefers reading newspapers or magazines. Reading is a great way to improve your English skills quietly. Now, think about your own typical day. What time do you wake up? What do you eat for breakfast? Do you have any hobbies or activities you enjoy? Try to describe your day in simple sentences. This will help you practice speaking and writing in English. Remember, listening to stories about everyday life helps you understand natural English better. Keep listening, keep practicing, and your skills will grow stronger every day. If you find these stories helpful, please press the like button to support our channel. After dinner, I usually like to spend some quiet time doing activities that help me relax and get ready for the next day. One thing I enjoy is cooking. Cooking is not only useful, but also fun. For example, last week I tried a new recipe for vegetable soup. I bought fresh carrots, potatoes, onions, and tomatoes from the market. First, I peeled and chopped the vegetables into small pieces. Then, I boiled them in water with some salt and herbs. It took about 45 minutes to cook everything. Well, when it was ready, I tasted the soup. It was warm and tasty. Cooking like this helps me feel calm and happy after a busy day. It also makes me proud because I made something delicious by myself. While I cook, my husband David usually works in the garden. He has many plants and flowers outside our house. Every evening, he waters the plants carefully. Sometimes he cuts old leaves and removes dead flowers. He says that plants need care and attention, just like people. Gardening helps him relax and enjoy the fresh air. When the weather is nice, we like to sit outside together and talk about our day. It is peaceful and nice to spend time outdoors. The fresh air and green plants help us feel good. After cooking and gardening, I like to write a little bit in my diary. Writing every day helps me improve my English. I write about simple things that happen during the day. For example, I write sentences like, I woke up early and went for a walk, or I cooked vegetable soup for dinner. Writing like, this helps me practice new words and remember grammar. When I write, I try to use new words that I learned recently. Sometimes I look for the meaning of words in a dictionary before writing. This is a good way to learn and remember new vocabulary. Writing is also a good way to think clearly about your day and your feelings. David also likes to plan the next day after dinner. He makes a list of things he needs to do, like grocery shopping, paying bills, or visiting the doctor. We often sit together with a notebook and write down our plans. This helps us stay organized and not forget important tasks. Planning our day is very helpful because it reduces stress and makes everything easier. When we have a plan, we feel more confident and ready to face the day ahead. Before going to bed, I enjoy reading for about 30 minutes. I usually read easy books in English or short articles on the internet. Reading helps me learn new words and see how sentences are made. For example, I read stories about people's lives or simple news articles. This way, I learn how to use English in real situations. David prefers to read newspapers or magazines in the evening. Reading is a quiet activity that helps us relax and learn at the same time. It also improves our vocabulary and understanding of English. I try to go to bed around 10 o'clock every night. Before I sleep, I sometimes think about what I did during the day and what I will do tomorrow. This helps me feel calm and prepared. Good sleep is important because it gives energy for the next day. I always try to sleep well and wake up feeling refreshed. Now think about your own typical day. What time do you usually wake up in the morning? What do you eat for breakfast? Do you have any hobbies or activities that you do after work or school? How do you spend your evenings? Try to describe your day in simple sentences. For example, you can say, I wake up at 7 o'clock, or I like to read books in the evening. Practicing this will help you improve your speaking and writing skills. Listening to stories like mine helps you understand how people talk about daily life in English. It also helps you learn useful words and expressions that you can use in your own conversations. Keep listening every day, and you will notice your English getting better and better. If you like this episode, please press the like button to support the English Pod community. Remember, we upload new English practice videos every day to help you improve step by step. Keep practicing with me, Scarlett, and I will see you again soon with another helpful story. After I finish reading, I usually spend some time organizing my things before going to bed. I like to prepare my clothes and my bag for the next day. This small routine helps me start the morning without stress. When everything is ready, I feel more relaxed. I also check my phone to see if I have any important messages from friends or work. Sometimes I reply to these messages, and other times, I wait until the morning. It depends on how tired I feel. Having a calm and quiet time before sleep is important because it helps me rest better. During the weekends, my day looks a little different from weekdays. On Saturdays, I usually wake up a bit later, around 8 o'clock. I like to have a big breakfast. Sometimes I make pancakes or scrambled eggs. David enjoys making coffee while I cook. After breakfast, we go for a walk in the park nearby. Walking outside helps us feel healthy and happy. We often meet neighbors and say hello. Talking with other people in English is a good way to practice speaking. On weekends, I also like to visit the local library. I borrow books and sometimes take part in English reading groups. These groups help me meet new people and practice speaking in a friendly way. In the afternoon, I usually spend time cleaning the house. I start by tidying up the living room and kitchen. I put things in their place and wash the dishes if they are dirty. Cleaning is not my favorite activity, but I know it is necessary. A clean home feels comfortable and nice to live in. David often helps me with vacuuming and dusting. We work together and it makes the chores easier and faster. After cleaning, I feel proud because I know the house is neat and organized. Sometimes we use the afternoon to visit family or friends. We like to meet at their houses and share a meal. Talking with family is very important to me because it helps us stay close, even if we do not see each other every day. During these visits, I try to speak English as much as possible. It is a good practice to listen carefully and respond in English. Family and friends are patient and always happy to help me learn. On Sundays, I usually spend time planning the week ahead. I make a schedule of appointments, work tasks, and personal goals. I like to include time for exercise, hobbies, and rest. Having a plan helps me manage my time well and feel less stressed. I also check the weather forecast to decide what clothes to wear and if we can do activities outside. Planning the week helps me balance work and relaxation. In the evenings, I sometimes cook special meals. For example, last Sunday I made roasted chicken with vegetables. It took longer to prepare, but the result was delicious. David helped by peeling potatoes and chopping carrots. Cooking together is a fun way to spend time. After dinner, we like to sit together and talk about our plans and dreams. Talking about future goals helps us stay motivated and happy. I also try to learn new things every day. For example, I recently started practicing yoga at home. Yoga helps me feel relaxed and strong. I follow simple exercises from videos in English. This practice helps me learn new words related to health and body parts. Learning through activities like this is useful and interesting. David has a hobby of building small furniture. Sometimes he makes chairs or tables from wood. I watch him work and learn new words about tools and materials. We talk about his projects in English, which helps me improve my vocabulary. Sharing hobbies like this brings us closer and helps me practice English naturally. Now, think about your own weekend. What do you do differently from weekdays? Do you have special activities or hobbies? How do you spend time with your family or friends? Try to describe your weekend day by day. Use simple sentences like, "On Saturday, I wake up late," or "I visit my family on Sunday." Practicing this will help you speak and write about your daily life with confidence. Listening to stories about daily routines helps you understand how to talk about time, activities, and feelings in English. It also teaches you useful words and phrases that you can use every day. Keep listening carefully and try to speak or write about your own life. This is the best way to improve your English step by step. If you like these stories, please press the like button to support the English Pod community. We upload new English practice videos every day to help you learn easily. Keep practicing with me, Scarlett, and I will bring more helpful stories soon. After I finish planning for the week, I usually spend some time doing light exercise at home. Exercise is very important for staying healthy. I like to do simple stretches and walk around my living room for about 20 minutes. Sometimes, David joins me, and we do some basic exercises together. Moving our bodies helps us feel more energetic and ready for the day ahead. Exercise also helps reduce stress and makes it easier to sleep at night. I try to do this every morning after waking up. Starting the day with exercise helps me feel fresh and positive. After exercising, I take a shower and get dressed for the day. I choose comfortable clothes that fit the weather. If it is cold outside, I wear warm clothes like sweaters and jackets. If the weather is hot, I wear lighter clothes like t-shirts and shorts. Dressing according to the weather is very important to stay comfortable. David always reminds me to check the weather before leaving the house. This small habit helps us avoid problems like being too cold or too hot during the day. Breakfast is the next important part of my morning. I like to eat something healthy to give me energy. Usually I eat toast with butter and jam, some fruit like bananas or apples, and a cup of tea or coffee. Sometimes I eat cereal with milk. Breakfast is important because it gives me strength to work and study. David often makes eggs or oatmeal for breakfast. We like to eat together and talk about our plans for the day. Talking in English during breakfast helps us practice speaking naturally. After breakfast, I start my work. I work from home, so I have a small office space in the living room. I use my computer to do different tasks, like answering emails, writing reports, and making phone calls. Sometimes I have meetings with my team online. Working from home gives me flexibility, but it also means I have to be very organized. I make a list of tasks to do each day, so I don't forget anything important. David works outside the home, so we have different schedules, but we try to talk during lunch and after work. Lunchtime is usually around 1 o'clock. I prepare simple meals like sandwiches, salads, or rice with vegetables. David likes to cook lunch sometimes, especially on weekends. We both enjoy trying new recipes and learning new cooking skills. Eating healthy food helps us stay strong and focused for the rest of the day. After lunch, I like to rest for a few minutes. Resting helps me feel ready to continue working in the afternoon. In the afternoon, I often have more work or study time. I practice English by reading articles, watching videos, or listening to podcasts. These activities help me improve my vocabulary and understanding. I also try to write short paragraphs about different topics to practice grammar and spelling. Writing is very useful because it helps me remember new words and how to use them correctly. David sometimes helps me check my writing and gives advice on how to improve. If I finish work early, I like to do some hobbies. One of my favorite hobbies is painting. I paint simple pictures using watercolors. Painting helps me relax and express my feelings. David likes photography. He takes pictures of nature, flowers, and animals. We share our hobbies and enjoy learning from each other. Doing creative activities is a good way to spend free time and learn new words in English. Evenings are for relaxation. After dinner, I usually read a book or listen to calm music. David enjoys reading too. Sometimes we read the same book and talk about the story. This helps us practice speaking English and understand new words better. We also watch the news together to stay informed about what is happening in the world. Watching or listening to the news in English helps improve listening skills and learn formal language. Before going to bed, I spend some time thinking about my day. I try to remember the new words I learned and the things I did well. Thinking positively helps me feel happy and ready for tomorrow. I also write a short note about my day in my diary. Writing every night helps me improve my English and keeps my mind active. David and I try to keep a healthy routine. We believe that good habits like exercising, eating healthy food, studying English every day, and spending time together help us live better lives. We encourage each other to keep learning and practicing. This routine makes us feel confident and ready to face new challenges. Now, take a moment and think about your own typical day. What time do you wake up? What activities do you do in the morning, afternoon, and evening? Do you have hobbies or things you enjoy? Try to write or say simple sentences about your day. For example, I wake up at 6 o'clock, or I eat breakfast at home, or I like to read books in the evening. Practicing this will help you speak and write more easily in English. Listening to stories about daily routines helps you understand how to talk about your own life in English. It teaches you useful words, expressions, and sentence structures. Keep listening carefully and try to practice every day. This is the best way to improve your English step by step. If you enjoy these stories, please press the like button to support the English Pod community. We upload new English practice videos every day to help you learn. Keep practicing with me, Scarlett, and I will bring more useful stories soon. After I finish my evening routine, I like to prepare for the next day. Preparing ahead helps me avoid feeling rushed in the morning. I check my calendar to see if I have any appointments or important tasks. If I have meetings or work to do, I make a list of what I need to bring or prepare. Sometimes I pack my lunch or put important papers in my bag. David often helps me with this because we want to make sure nothing is forgotten. Getting ready the night before makes the morning smoother and less stressful. Once everything is ready, I spend some quiet time before going to bed. I like to read a few pages from a book or write in my diary about what happened during the day. Writing in English helps me practice grammar and spelling. It also helps me remember new words. Sometimes I write about what I learned or what I want to do tomorrow. This small habit makes me feel calm and ready to sleep well. David likes to listen to calm music or do breathing exercises to relax. We both think that good sleep is very important. for health and energy. During the night, I usually sleep for about 7 or 8 hours. Good sleep helps my brain work better and my body feel stronger. When I wake up, I feel ready to start a new day. I try to wake up at the same time every day because it helps my body get used to a good routine. David and I both believe that keeping a regular schedule is important for health and happiness. Now I want to tell you about a typical weekday for David. He wakes up early at 6 o'clock. He prepares breakfast for himself, and sometimes for me. He likes to eat eggs and toast or cereal with milk. After breakfast, he gets dressed and leaves for work. David works in an office in the city, so he travels by bus. The bus ride takes about 30 minutes. During the ride, he listens to English podcasts or reads books on his phone. This helps him improve his English even while traveling. At work, David spends most of his time using a computer. He writes reports, answers emails, and talks with colleagues in English. After work, he usually returns home around 6 o'clock. When David comes home, we eat dinner together. Dinner is a time for us to share stories about our day. We talk about work, family, and plans for the weekend. Talking in English helps us practice speaking naturally. After dinner, David likes to relax by reading or working on small projects around the house. He enjoys fixing things or making small improvements. I like to listen to him and learn new words about tools and repairs. Sometimes on weekdays, we have small challenges with our English practice. For example, we may hear a new word or phrase that is difficult to understand. When this happens, we look up the meaning in a dictionary or ask a friend who speaks English well. We also use online tools to check pronunciation and spelling. Learning new words can be hard, but we try to be patient and keep practicing every day. This helps us improve little by little. During weekends, our routine changes a lot. Saturdays are usually for rest and fun activities. We often visit the local market to buy fresh fruits, vegetables, and bread. The market is busy and noisy, but it is a good place to practice listening to different English accents. We talk with the sellers and other shoppers. Asking questions and listening to answers helps us improve our speaking and listening skills. We enjoy trying new foods and learning about different cultures through the market. After shopping, we sometimes go to the park. The park is a quiet place where people walk, run, and relax. We like to sit on a bench and watch children play. We talk about the things we see and practice describing them in English. For example, I say, "The children are playing with a red ball," or "The trees have green leaves." Describing what we see helps us use new words and build sentences. On by. Sundays, we usually spend time with family. We visit my parents or David's parents. Family time is very important because it helps us feel connected and loved. We eat meals together, share stories, and help with household chores. Talking with family members in English is a great way to practice in a relaxed environment. We try to listen carefully and respond clearly. Family always encourages us to keep learning and practicing English. In the afternoon on Sundays, I like to relax by reading a book or writing emails to friends. Writing emails is a good way to practice polite and friendly language. David likes to work in the garden or fix small things in the house. We both enjoy these quiet moments because they help us prepare for the busy week ahead. I want you to think about your own typical day. What do you do from morning to night? What time do you eat, work, study, rest, and talk to family or friends? Try to write or say simple sentences about your day. For example, I wake up at 7 o'clock. I study English in the afternoon, or I eat dinner with my family. Practicing this will help you get better at speaking and writing about daily life. Listening to stories about everyday routines helps you understand how to use English in real life. It teaches you useful vocabulary and sentence structures. Keep listening carefully and try to practice every day. This is the best way to improve your English step by step. After finishing our weekend activities, I like to prepare for the upcoming week. I look at my calendar and check if I have any appointments or meetings. Sometimes I plan what meals I will cook during the week. Planning helps me save time and reduces stress. David also makes a to-do list for his work and home projects. When we plan together, it makes things easier and helps us stay organized. On to you. Monday mornings, my routine is a bit different from other days. I wake up early at 6 o'clock. I do some light stretching to wake up my body. Then I take a quick shower and get dressed for work. I prefer comfortable clothes because I work from home. David goes to his office, so he dresses more formally. Before breakfast, I make a cup of tea and check my emails. It is important to start the day by knowing what tasks I need to finish. Breakfast on Mondays is simple. I usually eat cereal with milk and a banana. David prefers toast with peanut butter and a glass of juice. We eat together and talk about our plans for the day. Talking helps us practice English and stay connected. After breakfast, I sit at my desk and start working on my tasks. I try to focus and finish important work early. During the day, I take short breaks every hour. During breaks, I stretch or walk around the room. Moving helps me feel less tired and improves my concentration. David also takes breaks at work. Sometimes he calls me during lunch, and we talk for a few minutes. Talking in English during breaks helps us practice speaking naturally. Lunch is usually at 1 o'clock. I like to eat something light but healthy. A sandwich with vegetables or a salad is good for me. David often eats pasta or rice with vegetables. Eating healthy food gives us energy to work in the afternoon. After lunch, I take a short rest for about 15 minutes. Resting helps me feel refreshed and ready to continue work. In the afternoon, I continue working on my projects. I often need to write reports or prepare presentations. Writing in English helps me improve my vocabulary and grammar. Sometimes, I find new words that are difficult to understand. When this happens, I look them up in an English dictionary. David also reads English articles related to his work. Reading helps us both improve our understanding of English. After work, I like to relax by doing some hobbies. I enjoy gardening. Taking care of plants is peaceful and fun. I water the plants, remove weeds, and sometimes plant new flowers. Gardening teaches me patience and helps me learn new words about nature. David enjoys cooking as a hobby. He tries new recipes and experiments with different ingredients. Cooking helps him learn new English words related to food and kitchen tools. Dinner. Time is important for us to share our day. We eat together and talk about what happened. David likes to share stories from his work. I tell him about the new words I learned or interesting things I read. Talking about our day helps us practice speaking and listening skills. After dinner, we clean the kitchen together. Working as a team makes housework easier and more enjoyable. In the evening, I like to read English books or listen to English podcasts. Reading and listening help me improve my language skills. I also write a journal about my day. Writing regularly helps me remember new words and practice sentence structure. David sometimes helps me check my writing and gives advice. This is a good way to learn from each other. Before going to bed, I prepare my clothes and things for the next day. I pack my bag and check if I have everything I need. Getting ready at night helps me avoid rushing in the morning. David does the same. We both believe that being organized helps us have a good day. Sleeping well is very important. I try to sleep at least 7 hours every night. Good sleep helps my body and mind stay healthy. I wake up feeling fresh and ready to face the day. David also follows a regular sleep schedule. We believe that good habits lead to better health and learning. During the week, I try to practice English in different ways. I watch videos, listen to podcasts, read books, and write notes. Practicing every day helps me improve little by little. David and I also try to speak only English for some time every day. Speaking helps build confidence and improves pronunciation. On weekends, our routine is more relaxed. We like to visit the market or go for walks in the park. Talking to people at the market helps us practice everyday English. Walking in the park is a good chance to describe nature and practice new words. We also spend time with family and friends. Talking with them in English is a good way to practice in a friendly environment. Thinking about your own daily routine is a good exercise. Try to describe what you do every day. For example, say, I wake up at 7 o'clock, or I eat lunch at home, or I like to read books in the evening. Writing or speaking about your day will help you get better in English. Listening to stories about daily routines helps you learn useful words and sentences. Keep listening carefully and practice often. This will help you improve your English step by step. On weekdays, my day usually starts very early. I wake up at 6 o'clock. After I get out of bed, I make my bed neatly. Making the bed helps me feel organized and ready to start the day. Then I go to the bathroom to wash my face and brush my teeth. Taking care of hygiene is very important. After that, I take a quick shower to feel fresh and awake. David usually wakes up around the same time. He follows the same morning routine because it helps him feel ready for work. After the shower, I get dressed. I choose clothes that are comfortable but neat. I like to wear light colors because they make me feel calm. David likes to wear formal shirts for his office work. Dressing well makes us both feel confident. Once dressed, I go to the kitchen to prepare breakfast. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day because it gives us energy. For breakfast, I often eat oatmeal with some fruit. Oatmeal is healthy and keeps me full for a long time. Sometimes I make scrambled eggs and toast. David likes to have yogurt with honey and nuts. We eat together and talk about the day ahead. Talking in English helps us practice speaking and thinking in English. We plan what we will do during the day and share any important news. After breakfast, I pack my bag for work. I check if I have my laptop, charger, and any documents I need. David checks his briefcase for the same things. Being prepared helps us avoid problems later. Then I clean the kitchen quickly and get ready to start work. I usually start work at 9 o'clock. I work from home, so I sit at my desk in a quiet room. I open my computer and check my emails first. Then I make a list of tasks to do during the day. Writing a list helps me stay focused and organized. David starts work around the same time, but he goes to his office. He takes the bus and listens to English podcasts during the ride. This helps him practice listening skills and learn new words. During the morning, I work on different tasks. Sometimes I write reports or answer questions from clients. Writing in English every day helps me improve my grammar and vocabulary. David spends much of his time on the phone and in meetings. He practices speaking clearly and using polite language. Both of us try to use new words and phrases we learn. Around noon, I take a break for lunch. Lunch is usually simple but healthy. I like to eat a sandwich with vegetables and a glass of juice. David often eats rice with chicken and salad. We both believe that healthy food helps us stay strong and focused. After lunch, I take a short walk outside. Walking helps me relax and feel better. David sometimes goes to a nearby park for fresh air during his lunch break. In the afternoon, I continue working on my tasks. I answer emails and prepare presentations. Writing presentations in English is a good way to practice organizing ideas clearly. David has meetings with his team in the afternoon. He uses English to explain ideas and listen to his colleagues. Speaking in meetings helps him improve his confidence. When the workday ends, I like to relax by doing hobbies. One hobby I enjoy is cooking. Cooking is a creative activity, and it helps me learn English words related to food and kitchen. I like trying new recipes and experimenting with different spices. David also enjoys cooking, and sometimes we cook together. Cooking together is a fun way to practice English and share time. After dinner, we clean the kitchen and put things away. Cleaning together makes the job easier and faster. Then I like to read books in English or write in my journal. Writing about my day helps me practice grammar and remember new words. David likes to watch educational videos in English. He listens carefully and repeats new words to practice pronunciation. Before going to bed, I prepare for the next day. I pack my bag and choose my clothes. Getting ready the night before helps me avoid rushing in the morning. David also follows this habit. We both believe that planning ahead helps reduce stress. Sleeping well is very important. I try to go to bed at 10 o'clock so I can sleep for 8 hours. Good sleep helps my body rest and my brain stay healthy. David also sleeps early to feel rested for work. We both try to keep a regular schedule because it helps us stay healthy and focused. On weekends, my routine changes. I like to rest and do relaxing activities. I often visit the local market to buy fresh food. The market is busy, but it is a good place to practice listening and speaking English. I talk with the sellers and ask questions about the products. This helps me practice everyday English and learn new words. David likes to go for long walks in the park. Walking helps him relax and think clearly. We also spend time with family on weekends. Visiting family is important because it helps us feel connected and happy. We eat meals together and share stories. Talking with family in English is a good way to practice in a friendly environment. We listen carefully and try to speak clearly. Family encourages us to keep learning and practicing. In the afternoon, I like to write emails to friends. Writing emails helps me practice polite language and sentence structure. David likes to work on small projects at home. He fixes things and improves the house. Talking about these activities helps us learn new vocabulary. Thinking about your own day is a good exercise. Try to describe what you do every day. For example, say, I wake up at 7 o'clock, or I eat lunch at home, or I like to read books in the evening. Writing or speaking about your day helps you practice English. Listening to stories about daily routines helps you learn useful words and sentences. Keep listening carefully and practice every day. This will help you improve your English step by step. If you like these stories, please press the like button to support the English Pod community. We upload new English practice videos every day to help you learn. Keep practicing with me, Scarlett, and I will bring more helpful stories soon. Sometimes at the market, I also practice using numbers in English. I ask, "How much is this?" And the seller says, "It is 1 pound," or "It is 50 pence." I take out the money and count it aloud. This helps me practice speaking clearly and using everyday English. I also ask for bags by saying, "Can I have a bag, please?" Or, "I have my own bag." These small sentences are useful in real life. When I return home, I talk with David about what I bought. I say, "Today I bought carrots, onions, and rice." The carrots were cheap, but the rice was more expensive. We talk about prices and compare them with last week. Later in the day, I sometimes meet my neighbor Emily. She is kind and easy to talk to. We often sit outside in front of our building and chat. We talk about the weather, our plans, and small news. One day, she told me about her job. She works at a bakery. She starts work at 6 in the morning and finishes by 2 in the afternoon. She said she enjoys her job because she likes baking bread and meeting customers. I asked her many questions about the bakery. I said, "What time do you start baking? And what do people usually buy?" She answered every question with simple words. I learned words like dough, oven, and loaf. Talking with her helped me understand how to speak about work and daily routines. One afternoon, she invited me to visit the bakery. I went there and saw her working. She showed me the kitchen, the tools, and the fresh bread. The place smelled warm and nice. She introduced me to her manager and a few other workers. Everyone was polite. I said hello and thanked them for showing me around. I stayed for 30 minutes and then returned home. That evening, I wrote about my visit in my notebook. I wrote, "Today I went to the bakery. I saw how bread is made. Emily was very friendly. I learned new words and felt more confident." In the evening, I also talked to my sister on the phone. Her name is Rachel. She lives in another city, so we cannot meet often. But we talk once or twice a week. We speak in English for practice. She asks me about my day, and I ask her about her job and family. I tell her what I did, what I cooked, and who I talked to. She listens carefully and helps me with pronunciation or grammar when I make mistakes. She also tells me stories from her city. For example, last week she told me about a street fair where people sold handmade crafts, food, and clothes. I asked questions and repeated new words after her. Sometimes I also record myself speaking about my day. I sit in a quiet room, press the record button on my phone, and speak. I say, "Today I woke up early. I made tea. I cleaned the kitchen. I went to the market and met Sarah. I bought rice and potatoes. I also visited Emily at the bakery." Then I listen to my own voice and check for mistakes. I ask myself, did I say the words clearly? Did I forget any important part? This is a good way to improve speaking and listening. I hear how I sound and try to get better each time. At night, before sleeping, I often sit quietly and think about the day. I ask myself, what did I do today? What did I learn? I try to say the answers in English. I think about what I want to do tomorrow. I also think about what I want to say better in English. Then I pray, thank God for the day, and go to bed. Every new day is a chance to learn, speak, and grow. Sometimes during the week, I also take time to do household chores. These chores are simple tasks that I need to do to keep the house clean and organized. In the morning, after breakfast, I often sweep the floor and wipe the kitchen table. Keeping the kitchen clean is important because we prepare food there. I also wash the dishes and clean the sink. David usually takes out the trash before he leaves for work. We try to keep our home neat every day because it helps us feel peaceful. Once a week, usually on Thursday, I do the laundry. I collect all the dirty clothes, put them in the washing machine, add detergent, and start the cycle. While the clothes are washing, I usually work on my computer. After the wash is done, I hang the clothes outside in the sun. Hanging clothes helps them smell fresh. Sometimes it rains, and I use an indoor drying rack. David helps fold the clothes in the evening. We put them back in the closet so our room stays tidy. One thing I like to do during the afternoon is water the plants. We have some green plants on the balcony. They make the home feel fresh and alive. I water them every 2 days. I also clean the leaves with a soft cloth. David says the plants help him feel relaxed when he comes home from work. We both enjoy taking care of them. When you look after something small, it teaches you patience. I also go grocery shopping once or twice a week. I make a list before I go. The list helps me remember what I need. I write things like milk, eggs, bread, rice, vegetables, and fruit. I walk to the store near our house and carry a reusable bag. At the store, I look for the items on my list and check the prices. I ask the shopkeeper questions if I cannot find something. This helps me practice real English conversations. When I return home, I put everything in the fridge and kitchen shelves. David often helps put the heavy items away. In the late afternoon, I sometimes sit down to write. I write simple stories in English or make notes about my day. Writing helps me remember the words I hear and say. One time, I wrote a story about a woman named Emily who worked at a bakery. She woke up early every day, baked fresh bread, and talked with her customers. Writing about her helped me practice vocabulary like flour, oven, and customer. David read the story and gave me some feedback. He liked it and encouraged me to write more. We also try to help each other with English practice. In the evening, we sit at the table and talk only in English for 20 minutes. We choose a topic, like my favorite food, or what I want to do this year. Then we take turns talking about it. If one of us does not know a word, we look it up together. This helps us both learn. We also correct each other gently. Speaking like this every day helps us become more confident and comfortable. One time, David told a story about his friend Michael. Michael is a teacher. Every day he wakes up early, prepares his lessons, and goes to school. He teaches young students how to read and write. After school, he comes home and spends time with his family. Michael believes that teaching is a way to help people have a better future. Listening to David tell that story helped me learn how to talk about someone else's routine in English. I learned how to describe a job and how to talk about someone's day from morning to night. On Sundays, we usually rest more. We wake up a little later and enjoy a slow breakfast. I sometimes make pancakes with honey. David helps set the table. We eat and talk about what we are thankful for. We do not rush. After breakfast, we often go for a walk in the neighborhood. Walking slowly and talking about small things helps us relax. Sometimes we see neighbors and greet them politely. Saying good morning or how are you today is a good way to practice friendly English. In the afternoon, we read English books. I like to read simple short stories. David reads books about history. After reading, we talk about what we read. We use easy words and try to explain the main ideas. This helps us with understanding and also builds our vocabulary. I sometimes write a short summary of what I read. A summary is a short description of the most important parts. Writing summaries is a great way to practice English writing. In the evening, we prepare dinner together. Cooking is not just about food. It is also a time to talk, work together, and learn new things. When I chop vegetables, I name them in English. I say words like carrot, onion, tomato, and spinach. David helps by boiling rice or frying chicken. While we cook, we review words we learned during the week. We also talk about what we want to do the next day. After dinner, we clean the dishes and tidy the kitchen. Then we sit together with a cup of tea. Sometimes we talk. Sometimes we just enjoy the quiet. Having a peaceful routine helps us feel balanced. Before bed, I read or write in my notebook. David checks the calendar for the week and makes notes. At 10 o'clock, we say goodnight and go to sleep. These daily habits are not exciting, but they help us grow. They help us learn English step by step. Every action we do becomes a chance to listen, speak, read, or write. Even small things like making a list or greeting a neighbor are good practice. When you describe your own day, think about the words you use. Try saying them in English. Try writing them down. This way, your English becomes part of your real life. Keep listening and practicing every day. Repeat these stories. Try to tell your own. You will improve with time. Press the like button if you are learning something new. The English Pod community is here every day to help you grow with simple English. I am Scarlett, and I will continue sharing more real-life stories with you. Some days are a little different from the normal routine. For example, once a month, we go to visit David's parents. They live in a small town about 1 hour away from where we live. On those days, we wake up early, have a quick breakfast, and get ready to leave. We pack a small bag with some fruit, water, and snacks. David also brings a book to read during the ride. We take the bus because it is more comfortable and gives us time to relax. While we are on the bus, we look out the window and enjoy the view. We see green trees, small shops, and people walking along the road. When we arrive, his parents always greet us with warm smiles. They ask us how we are doing and invite us inside. We sit together and drink tea. His mother often prepares lunch for us. She makes simple food like rice, lentils, and vegetables. The food is fresh and healthy. While we eat, we talk about our week, our work, and anything new that has happened. His father sometimes tells stories from when he was young. I enjoy listening to those stories because they help me learn new words and understand how life was different in the past. I often ask questions during the story, and they explain things clearly. After lunch, we help clean the table and wash the dishes. Then we sit in the living room. Sometimes we talk. Sometimes we just rest. David's mother likes to knit, and I watch her hands move slowly as she makes a scarf or sweater. She tells me what color she will use next. I learn new words, like thread, needle, and pattern. One day she showed me how to knit. I was not very good, but it was fun to try something new. David's father reads the newspaper. He sometimes reads parts aloud and explains what is happening in the town. It helps me understand how people talk about daily news in English. We usually stay for a few hours. Before we leave, we say thank you for the food and time. We help clean up and carry the trash outside. David's parents always say we should visit more often. On the way home, we talk about the visit. We share what we liked and what we learned. I sometimes write a few lines about the visit in my notebook. Writing about real moments helps me remember words and practice writing clearly. Another part of my daily life is visiting the market. The market is a short walk from our house. I like going in the morning when it is not too crowded. I take a shopping bag, my wallet, and a small notepad with a list. The market has many small stalls. People sell vegetables, fruits, rice, flour, and daily items like soap or toothpaste. I walk from one stall to another, looking at the prices and talking to the sellers. I greet them by saying, "Good morning," or "How are you today?" And they often smile and reply kindly. One day, I met a woman named Sarah at the vegetable stall. She was also buying carrots and potatoes. We started talking. I told her I was learning English, and she said she was an English teacher. She spoke slowly and helped me say the names of the vegetables. She said, "This is a cucumber. That is a cabbage." I repeated the words. She smiled and said, "You are doing well." It was a short meeting, but I felt happy. I practiced speaking, learned new words, and made a new friend.